Harsh audio cutover. Yay! Welcome back, everyone. Everything's shaking. So, whew. I think we're going back into the cistern now. If the journal says anything about that. To enter the sewer, it must first be drained. What the hell did we just do? We've come into... sorry, not back to the cistern. We're in the cistern. Back into the cistern. What are we in? The control room. We went into the cistern and then into the control room. Maybe we're okay going back here. This isn't what I was thinking of. I don't want to go back into the prison. That's where I don't want to go. We can go back here. The purpose of the inner sanctum has always been to study the orbs and find a way to force them to yield their power. However, he was still unaware of this. Yeah, I was stubbornly refusing to come back through, not because of this room, but a knee-jerk reaction to having been in the prison for so damn long. No, don't make us go back there. I think I know where we're going now. The water was knee-deep, and we couldn't pass, and we should be able to pass now. A few people got here. Well, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe we haven't drained it yet. But we're getting there. That's where we need to go. When we drain the sewers, I think that's where we're going. People got here during the break or just before the break. Wolf's Test, welcome. Thank you for the host. DBA Bob in the house. Anyone else getting here, lurking out there? But why is it called Amnesia? Yeah, I think I used to know. This lever, drop this ladder. This ladder took us through that door. This doesn't quite look like it rotates, but we would get up there. There are these platforms much higher up. In our future, perhaps. This is the door I have been. I don't want to go back to the prison north block. So let's get this out of the way. I need to go back through the prison. I guess it's now or later. I have to go back that way. No. Yay. Yay. Now I'm bouncing. We don't have to go back through the prison. Yay. 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 Look what I can do. Yay. This is where we collected oil from. Maybe... the same way. It doesn't say we needed to grease those other levers back in the cistern, back in the control room, but we had to grease this one, bring that ladder down. Maybe we can take more oil and grease more gears, more levers. See if I can fill the glass jar again. There's no need to fill it again. Well, scratch that. Thank you, game. Can't go down there. Let's get some light shine down here in case there's anything on the walls. No. Once we drain the sewers, we're coming back. the oil anymore. Can't open that door. Can't reach that door. Unless this could somehow rotate. Or that door. 2 doors. No access. You know what? If those platforms there were lowered, we could reach those doors. But that's what those platforms are. I didn't see it before, but think about their positions. If those 2 platforms were lowered, we would have access to 2 more doors. Like, where do we lower those? We still have the jar for some reason. We still have the crank for some reason. The crank would have disappeared if I had used it on the door. Hammer. Still have the hammer and chipper. Hand drill. Needle. What are these? I didn't see these before. Anybody else not see 2 levers? Look at this picture. Now, I've said the word, so you can probably see it now. Who saw those before? Just remember moments like these. Anytime we find ourselves complaining about too many glowy objects. Just remember how frustrating it can be when you can't see something right in front of you. You fight it and you go, ah! It's been there the whole time! Darth, the game was draining your own sanity. I can understand that. So you start some decorations on the wall. Where are you? What are you seeing? Welcome back, Darth. Oh, the levers. They just looked like decorations on the wall. Yeah, exactly. The red taint burst from the walls as if they had begun to bleed. He cried out in fear, and the spectacle began to... I didn't start in time to finish reading that.
You're conserving water from the spring.
Yes, it enables me to control the water in the drain sewers to some extent. Also, it can be used for all sorts of purposes.
Like for drinking?
Well, that too. But mostly to run different machines.
Ah, like water mills.
Exactly.
Well, if we end up being stalked by water creatures, like last time we had an extended water sequence, that would be scary as hell for me. What? Really get hurt jumping into the water? There's a valve over in the corner. Does. Yes, we are being stalked in the water again. Are these the don't look at them monsters again? I bet they are. Redirect sewer water.
7th of August, 1839. There is no denying that Alexander puts a lot of faith into what I can only describe as magic. I'm not surprised. Even while traveling across Europe, I assumed I would have to embrace the supernatural to save my mind and life. As a novice, I do everything in my power to stay focused and not dwell too much on my own doubts. Alexander
tricky,
woke me
right?
up early and told me it was time we got started on our work. He was obviously excited to get going, and we headed downstairs to the old dungeon, where he preferred to attempt his rituals. It turns out that Alexander is a true Renaissance man, paralleled only by Da Vinci, I'm sure. He showed me several rooms fitted for specific research, such as anatomy studies, alchemy, and botany. The crown of Brennenburg must be the inner sanctum, a most hallowed ground where we shall attempt to permanently banish the orb's shadow.
Hallowed or corrupted? What have I done? Daniel doesn't need drugs to hallucinate. Water has begun to slowly fill the chamber. Oh God, there's somebody in there. Kidding me. Fucking Didn't know how long I should have watched first. We don't have a whole lot of time. Still
8th
screaming.
of August, 1839. I could never be certain until today that I was on the right path. Using my orb, Alexander managed to channel its power unto us. The inner sanctum flared with blue, fiery light, and I could feel the same things I felt in the dark chamber in Algeria. It was like standing in a mad whirlpool of impressions. It was terrifying. But Alexander kept calm and wielded strange tools of science in order to tame the storm.
Yeah,
Suddenly,
science.
the blue light was stained by strains of red, and the walls burst with pulsating tissue resonating with the scene. Alexander quickly covered the orb in some cloth, and the unspeakable thing vanished. Apparently, the orb's shadow is closer than Alexander thought. He said I should prepare for a warding ritual tomorrow. I'm not sure what he expects, but I have a bad feeling about this.
Okay, so I know which one you're talking about, Tonalak, but I'm in my head wondering, was that Ethan Carter or was that the woman's name? Not Fran Bow. Keeps popping into my head. Was it that other one? Who knows what I'm talking about? Read my mind! Earlier than that, not Layers of Fear. Edith Finch, that's what I was thinking of. It was either Edith Finch or... yeah. Ethan Carter, but I think it was Edith Finch. Got it. Fuck that, fuck that, fuck that, fuck that. Attached to a rusty chain in the ceiling. Rusty chain in the ceiling. Pointed out that it's rusty, huh? This is another one of those situations where if you or I were here, upper body strength notwithstanding, if we wanted to get to the other side, we would get to the other side. We wouldn't have to deal with a rusty chain to get up there. If we wanted to get up there, we would get up there. Especially if something was chasing us. And, you know, if we needed to get up there, we could get up there too. It's, so we gotta follow the rules. Do something with the rusty chain, apparently. Sewer must be drained. Valves in the cistern to redirect water. I've turned 2 of them and possibly drowned someone. A bridge must be lowered to proceed. It's secured by a rusty chain in the ceiling. The water that's being drained to facilitate our passage in some of these areas, being drained into that chamber where somebody is possibly dying. Or it could be a trick. It's a trap. Rusty chain. Anything I can throw? Can't throw anything from your inventory that I'm aware of. Only things you pick up in the environment. Rock. Woo! Love it when things make sense. I get the impression that the developers of this game liked their physics engine very much. They didn't go overboard on it, but they wanted to make lots of things that use the physics potential in the game. I never know when to get creative with the physics. Like when I built that, when I stacked boxes trying to get up to the gear. That was wrong. But I have to be willing, in order to be able to do that, throw a rock at the rusty chain, I've got to be willing to think about the possibility that I need to stack boxes to climb to the ceiling. Right?
9th of August, 1839. It is still early,
Mostly
and
a plus.
Alexander is busy preparing for the
It
ritual
forces you
later
to think
today.
that way.
Seeing him this worked up makes me question why. What does he stand to gain? I realize he is curious about it all, but surely there must be more. Is he so foolish he will attempt to tame the power of the orb? I must admit that yesterday, when Alexander flooded the inner sanctum with blue light, I realized we had but graced the orb's true potential. This might turn out to be more than escaping a creeping shadow. It might be the beginning of something truly extraordinary.
We've played so many cool games. Which is the best reason ever to just keep playing more games. honestly, if I didn't start streaming on Twitch, I'd still be playing games all the time. But I'd probably have a much more limited scope left to my own devices. I wouldn't be getting out of my element very often. And so many things I wouldn't have discovered without you if we hadn't done them together. Nope. Alright, let's give a little sanity back before we go tangle with the water monsters. Little Nightmares is awesome, Annie. It's a great little platformer. There are 3 pieces of DLC, one of which is already out, one I think is coming in November, and one might be January? So we still have 2 more coming. Did our mementos update? No mementos are available, so we lowered. I guess we can head back out if I can avoid the monster. I'm gonna try going down from the cistern central area where it was flooded before. I'm gonna go see if it's no longer flooded. I think we're gonna have to make a run for it. Pretty sure there are creatures in the water here.
Commander.
Ah!
Over secure channel.
Thank you. Hearts and everything. Scared the hell out of me. Well, that's at least in the top 5 scariest moments in the game so far. Was the sub alert. I was coming around the corner expecting a monster to jump up behind me, and instead the alert, and I short-circuited. Scary sub time. Thank you, Kimberly. Thank you. If I'm not mistaken, the clip is going to show, you're going to see the short circuit. It was actually a delay. Like, I saw it pop, and it legitimately scared me. But it confused me for half a second before the scare kicked in. Because I was expecting something behind me to make noise, and I was going to run. And I didn't hear that, and I saw stairs, and right as I started to go up the stairs, something popped in front of me, which scared the hell out of me, but it confused me first. Real good. Nicely done. Light blinded him as it had done inside the murky tomb in Algeria. It was just as enchanting as he tried to approach it, but the Baron's firm hand had held him back. That needs some encouragement to be lowered. I wonder what we can do about that. Did say precisely. The bridge is stuck and we'll need a push to dislodge. We need a push to dislodge. You don't think raising it and lowering it again would work like with the ladder? Yay! Alright, we're going down. It's toxic down here. That's not good. We're going back up. We're going back up. through it. Try running through it. You know, things that are dangerous, not always safe to run through them quickly. As a child, there were some wasps nesting under a deck, a family house, and they had been purposefully stirred up by an exterminator, just checking where everything was. Maybe that wasn't smart. Anyways, he stirred up all these wasps, and later that day, having seen him stir up all these wasps, I was coming up the driveway, and there was a bumblebee near this little fork in the road, and you gotta go up by the deck or down into the driveway. And this bumblebee was so big and scary to me as a child, I thought, I'm not going near that bumblebee. So I'm not going the low road to the driveway because I don't want to go near that bumblebee. Maybe if I run through the wasps up here at the edge of the deck fast enough, they won't hurt me. So I ran as fast as I could through the wasps, and all I remember is going like this. Ah! I got stung to hell. So running really quickly through something dangerous is not always a good plan. That said, going further without a vaccine would be fatal. Okay, well, fine then. Major point game. I'll be stung by wasps today. Always choose bumblebees when faced with wasps. Oh, I learned that lesson. The bumblebee would have been chill. There's no probably about it, but child me didn't get that. Big, scary thing. The bridge you need to push is still up. Yes, that segment. We need a vaccine. We definitely don't have a vaccine. I think I finally know what the hollow needle is going to be for administering a vaccine. Been wondering what that would do, a hollow needle. A strong surgical needle. Something to do with administering a vaccine. So, how are we going to free this up? Anything I can pick up down here on the ground? We could go with the bridge strategy again. See if I can get some bricks up there. Oh shit, that was unexpected. If I can get some bricks up there and put some weight on the bridge and see if it comes down. These aren't sailing over. The morgue! Alexander knew there must be a way to finish the ritual before it was too late. He had to teach his friend to harvest the vitae. Vitae. That much was certain.
Do you see, Daniel? It has yielded.
What?
The shadow.
It has?
For now. Come, let's get this out of here so we can get some peace.
Yes, let's. Where to?
Just down the corridor to the morgue.
Are there more dead men there?
You did well, Daniel. Come, let's get going.
The official site being theirs. You won't be downloading it from my site. But there is a link to the official site over there. I forgot I wasn't in the commands. I updated the commands to link over to the website. But you can find the link there to BTTV. Is that part of what's happening, Seastar? The new beta site doesn't play as nice
What?
yet.
What happened?
BTT.
Why are all these dead? Where am I? What's happening? Help! Anybody! Help!
Copper tube. Autumn.
3 days now. This is ridiculous. Why doesn't someone come to this room? Hey! Anybody! Am I all alone here? Help! Help! I'm so tired. If I sleep, will I wake from this nightmare? If not, I pray my Heavenly Father will take me in my sleep.
A few of these because he's going a bit nuts. These candles do not give off much light. Okay. Chrome. If you're getting the Chrome extension, it's pretty straightforward. If you were on a Mac using Safari, that's the only one with maybe a couple extra steps. Chrome and Firefox should be very straightforward. They do still have plugins for all those browsers, right? Not just. Long time ago, it was just Chrome. I think everything's covered anymore. Well, hi there.
Breathing, Daniel. Do you hear me?
They left us a naked body. If you're on a Mac using Safari, Dominic says, use it to download Chrome. Well, I use both, but I can laugh at that. The vaccine enabling my men to work in the fungi-ridden sewers, a definite success. Unfortunately, only a few of the servants have been remedied as the procedure proved difficult. The others will perish, and eventually I will have to create more of them to keep my experiments running. Note that an injection of vaccinated blood will work as a shield long enough to pass the sewers without any risk of infection. It will do fine for prisoner transport. An injection of vaccinated blood will work long enough. So we are going to need a transfusion rather than a vaccine. Are we going to take a... Are we going to get our transfusion from a corpse? Are we putting dead blood in our body? Come on. I learned this from Anne Rice a long time ago. Never drink dead blood. And I'm just assuming that goes for transfusions. Plague outbreak. The strange deaths among the servants and the prisoners have finally been resolved. It seems that the drained sewer, which has recently been opened up for use as a means of transport, is plagued by a peculiar poisonous fungi. The victims seem to have suffered an extremely quick outbreak. Sickness affecting the entire body. Some of my men, including myself, are blissfully spared by this calamity, but it is clear that this cripples my progress. The prisoners die quickly, and their contaminated vitae lacks the energy I seek. They'll immediately start working on a vaccine. These are little, what did we call these? Memory boxes? These are like little memory... Daniel's memories. Or... like, Daniel does speak about himself in the third person sometimes, or to himself, but... Anyways, I fear for Daniel, for he is reckless. He's tainted by the approaching shadow and will not be able to pass the gate. Will he be able to accept this in the end? Maybe this is Alexander. My love, I've seen evil in him. How am I to trust him with the truth? What cruel irony that I have to do unto him what Agrippa did unto me. Daniel, reckless, tainted, will not be able to pass the gate. Will he be able to accept this in the end? How can I trust him with the truth? I will have to do unto him what Agrippa did unto me. Interesting. Come on. Ow. Oh. Anybody's. It is the morgue. Alright, what do you have to say about the body? I'll just grab him right by the dingle dangle. The body is still stiff from rigor mortis. It can't be older than a day. Of all the places to check for rigor mortis. Yes, it is. Wait, Darth says, oh crap, it works. Thanks, Kim. How'd you got that working?
The shadow. It's close now.
The shadow. Close now. Flowers? There's flowers down here. Huh, okay. Well, I have a needle, but no tubing. I think we would need 2 needles, and that's assuming the corpse would give us blood. It does say it's only been there a day. I mean, it suggests the possibility that we might be getting a transfusion of dead blood. It's pretty gross. But we're missing at least something. Tools, any sparkly tools? I bet our sanity's down. Hallucinating, head is pounding, hands are shaking. Wait, we have something else. We got copper tubing, thin copper tubing. Let's try. Yes, okay. No, but copper tubing. See what he says when I try. See what the game says. Cannot penetrate the skull. Does it look like I was trying to put that in his skull? Cannot penetrate his skull. Are we going for his skull because at one day dead there's better blood? Why did it say skull? Cannot penetrate the skull. Well, we have a drill. Lucky us. The hand drill broke and is of no further use. We are so getting a transfusion of dead blood. Oh, look at this ghetto transfusion. Oh, I'm not jamming that into my arm. Fuck you. Vaccinated. No, God. Damn it. Can I hide in one of these? Please? Come on. Come on! You know it's a good idea. Let me hide in one of these. Pull out a body. Jump in with one of the bodies. I don't... Go! Go, man. You know it's a good idea. So why wouldn't it let me? It's such a good plan. What the fuck do you want from me? So he's tripping balls right now. Sanity level, ... Otherwise known as tripping balls. What was that acid called, man? 3 dots or something, man. Daniel's not here, man. Psst. It's me, Daniel. Open up. Daniel? Daniel's not here, man. Where was which? Are those cockroaches crawling on my eyeballs, or is that just me? Oh no, it's cockroaches crawling on your eyeballs. Sorry, I got confused. Wasn't sure which one of us was on which side of the camera for a minute there. The vaccine. Harry Bedlow went to class carrying the anger of his bitter mother. He never cried, he made others cry instead. Pain is like that. You either become sad or you become angry. Henry always chose the latter. mushrooms are growing all over the place down here. Oh. But we have to go that way. That sucks. When I say we have to go that way, I meant middle, not right. I'm going in the same direction he went. I'll tell you why I went this way. Doesn't... Not because I know what I'm doing. Ever try to outthink the game mechanics? Right or wrong? Thinking, okay, who in their right mind would head towards the creature? And yet, when it passes by, it's not always in the position we saw it walk to. So why not head in that direction? Maybe we're being scared off deliberately from going this way. Oh, I'm gonna go the other way. And eventually we have to come this way. Well, is that logical? I don't know, maybe. But it was definitely me thinking, the game wants me to do this. I'm not gonna play along. The game wants me to run away. Let's go there. KG, this is as much as you put up with? Interesting. Got too freaked out. This pipe seems to be loose, does it? How loose? Like, gonna let me wiggle it loose? Whoa! That was a little scary. Broke kind of suddenly. It wasn't moving much, and then it snapped. Darth, this is where you started today. Are we in chapter... Does that mean we're in chapter 3? That means we're in chapter 3.
Sounds like you've been snacking on some of the local mushrooms.
Should I? They're right here. Nope.
What's happening? What are you doing? Let me go! Please, don't take me! Nobody ever return!
I'm gonna try jamming the pipe in there. The wheel is spinning too fast to be jammed. But it didn't say that can't be used here. That the wheel is spinning too fast to be jammed. Well, that's interesting. Well, my sanity was ... a minute ago. It seems to have recovered. I guess it will deteriorate shortly. What the? Well, if the game was creepy as hell for you, then proud of you for getting this far too. I have finding the game has gotten scarier as it goes along. I didn't feel it was at the beginning. They almost overplayed the scare at the beginning. There wasn't much yet to be scared of. But it's kind of balanced out as things have gotten a little more genuinely scary. One, two. Small, medium, and large gear symbols, both of them in the middle position. Do I have a stated goal? To jam the wheel, it must be slowed down. Okay. Well, let's try putting both of these in that position. Pretty fast, but let's stick our hand in there. Brilliant! Wheel is spinning too fast to be jammed. Maybe those levers had nothing to do with this, or maybe they had something to do with it, but I'm gonna go back and try different positions. See what happens. Sounds faster to me. Full speed! That doesn't sound faster. That sounds slower. So far, I'm keeping them at the same positions. Maybe they will end up needing to be at different positions. Horror games drain you, don't want to play anymore, would rather watch. I have definitely had game experiences that I found more draining than pleasing. That looks the same to me. Huh. You're surprised at how short the game is? Well, I've already gotten 8 hours, so I think we'll easily cross 10, if not 12. I tend to go slow. So we broke off the pipe. What else do I have? Crank, the jar of the hammer. So KG, you said you got 2 hours into Outlast. You had to give up Outlast and Layers of Fear. I keep thinking of those while playing this for slightly different reasons. Outlast is kind of like this genre on crack. Whereas Layers of Fear seems to me, a more natural evolution of precisely this type of environmental mixed with a little survival horror. You don't get chased all around in Layers of Fear. It's just, you know, it has its thing, but this reminds me a great deal of that, and in a different way. Outlast. Try that. So when I first moved them from the center position left, I think I did this one first and it sounded like it slowed down, and then I moved this one and I think it sounded like it sped up. Let's see if that didn't do it. Oh, come on! One for me. One for me! I loved it too. There was a story which I will not spoil any of here. The story was kind of like awesome. By the end, it was the story was mind-blowing by the end. From small beginnings. Or did you play the whole thing and you didn't like where it went? I thought it was one of the best layered story reveals in quite a while. You definitely have to get far enough before oh shit starts hitting in waves. I can ask a pretty spoiler-free question. Did you get to the ruins of an office park? If not, I would just wait and see what the story has. Can we take it now? Take that back? Not in the middle of the blades. That would be bad. We should probably back off the topic just so we don't say anymore. If you want to hit me up off stream, Darth, happy to help you figure it out. But I encourage you to go back to it. The owls are not what they seem.
Daniel, turn around this instant. You are carrying the shadow with you.
I'm carrying the shadow with me. Never do you be. Hey, look at that. That's one of the things that's stalking us. Look at that gnarly face. Ten out of 10 for the landing. Hey now, I'm not standing on you. What are you reaching out to get me? Hey, bada, swing, bada. Oh, okay. Alright, that was worth a try. Well, I might regret doing this. Let's try putting them back together. When do we put back together? Can't grab the legs, though. Never mind. That's silly. Good here. What do I have? Hammer, chisel, glass jar, crank. Turn around, Daniel. You've got the shadow with you. Let's say we did turn around. Fuck. Not again. Tread carefully. I was treading carefully and nothing happened. So we walked out. Cooldowns, maybe? He's right there. Hey, Ray. Yeah, it has to be. We've already played with it. The game is very dark. We even went to the options and worked out the brightness together, just to remind everyone that if we go to the graphics, wrong mouse, wrong system, this is the intended brightness. You're not supposed to see a square on the right. And if we turn it up and we check this, you can see that square a little bit. It is actually supposed to be so dark that you can't. This is game was made to look like, for better or worse. And if we crank it up, it just washes out all the dark areas. They don't really get, they don't get more detail. They just get washed out. must pay. Could run backwards. And kind of. I have laudanum, but I wanted to at least get away before using laudanum. We need to get out of here somehow. He's in that hall, and we just need to be going. The brute just wants a hug. Not sure where we're going back to. See if he's one way and passes by. I don't know if I want to go left or right. Hey, Luke. Welcome. Which area was which? We came up there. No. Came through the blades over there. Okay, came through the blades over there. I get a habit in a lot of games of crouch walking everywhere. So far, I've done pretty good about not crouch walking everywhere in this game. Recent events, though, have encouraged me to take up the habit again. I think that's where we came in, right? And I went that way. So let's take the other passage. Whole action. No! Oh, fuck you! Right behind us! That's cute. That's cute. Run. Fuck you!
Can you take one more?
Now I'm not sure where we are. Okay. We were there. Back down. Came from over there. Go this way. I got to that door. He showed up behind me. Okay. So the door he jumped me at should be up this way. To the left. Can you beat him? No, you can't fight. This is one of those games where you cannot fight back. You can run, you can hide, but you cannot fight. And I was stuck between him and a door. Now, if I had opened the door and moved, I might have been able to run away. But that was harsh. Hide all the time. Exactly. Never stop hiding. It's one of those games. Just hide in a closet and starve to death. Better than other possible outcomes. There's never any escape. Things like this live with you always. How could we know if Henry would show up down the road or even at his house? Is he that mad? Would he do that? Who wants to hide all the time? Hide all the time. All the time. Levers.
9th of August, 1839. I can't stop sweating and shaking. The warding ritual was not something of a sane mind. I did not even realize the dungeon was still in use. Alexander had his servants bring one of the prisoners, a murderer, he told me. Alexander made all the arrangements, but he said I had to perform the ritual in order to have the right effect. The shadow could be led astray by the blood of another. Killing the man would provide us precious time. What else could I do? Alexander said it had to be done. He is saving my life. I don't have the luxury of argument.
Well, when your own life is on the line, and the price is taking another, I'm not sure I'd call it a luxury, but you certainly have a choice. What did you do, Daniel? What did you do? Rage potato! Hey! Boss Wake, thank you for the host. The auto host. So. I haven't pulled those levers. I'm doing good. The game's growing on me. Slow start, getting better. I think we're pretty far into it. Aiming to finish today. You know, next 1 or 2 or 3 hours. Late. Okay. Door that won't budge is on the side of the ladder. Close that one with it in there. So, off into the dark. Again. Control room with some sort of control room with 2 levers. Spiral staircase. I think it is. Spiral staircase where we were able to glimpse it through a couple grates earlier. I did not flip the levers upstairs.
Agrippa. I need you to stay awake. Can you feel the syringe?
No, I can't feel anything. Alexander,
Yes.
soon I won't even be able to move, will I?
Your life is safe.
I don't doubt that. But will it be worth living?
This item this way. Laboratory is boarded off, and I can't use my hammer and chisel. Bakov, welcome. Yeah, first time for me. Not playing. Something lives. Oh man. Pull the switch. Pull the switch, please. I think pulling the switch is going to kill you. Are you sure?
Me.
There's no way the help he wants is released.
Switch.
This is gonna suck.
Thank you. You have my gratitude.
What?
My name is Agrippa. Who might you be? Daniel? Like the prophet thrown into the lion's den? Tell me, are you among the lions, Daniel?
Is that
You want to stop Alexander? Oh my, so Babylon shall fall, you say? You worry too much. Alexander is toothless without an arm. He has one. That's not very promising at all. The sector is basically impenetrable, but guess why not? It could be breached by another, but Alexander broke his, my own, a long time ago. Really? Well, if you tell the truth, by all means, seek out the pieces of the broken arm and bend away. I believe he uses them for torture now. They practically leak matter, which is quite useful, I understand. There should be 6 of them. Look around the choir and the transept. You should be able to find them there.
It's a video game accent.
Dada.
Stop!
I hate to bother you,
Just walking into spikes.
if you're really going after Alexander, would you consider taking me with you? I know it sounds ridiculous. Look at me. But if you find anything concerning a man named Johann Weyer, would you please bring it to me? I
heard
believe
his
he was
name
working on a
mentioned.
way to help me. A recipe for some sort of potion, a tonic to free me from this husk of mine.
Agrippa the dying man seeks a note written by a man named Johann Weyer. An orb is needed to enter the inner sanctum. Its shattered pieces lie scattered in the torture rooms. Scattered pieces of the orb in the torture rooms. Something about a...
I'm Heinrich Cornelius Agrippa. I was once quite important to you. Baron Alexander has sustained my soul in this dead husk for years. Who knows how many? Hundreds, I presume.
Yeah, I think you were right, Tom Black, but... we've heard his name mentioned a few times now. Wasn't thinking about that.
Get her back!
It's okay. Not the best.
That is good to see. Alexander is quite impressive in many ways, but he has grown impatient. Why me? I'm the next best thing. Alexander really
I hope he doesn't keep talking. Heavy doors blocking the path. Heavy doors blocking the path. We still have a crank. Gripa, please. Daniel's scared. Daniel very scared. If you're really scared, Daniel, you could just hide in here forever. We don't ever have to leave. You can just stay in here and go completely mad. Never mind.
I know this. I've been here already. I know this taste. A taste of Damascus rose obfuscating the truth in a dim haze. They may sweep the traces from my memory, but my body remembers. These cuts speak volumes, even though my mind remains silent. They will be back. They will be back.
Ryan, how are you doing? I haven't found anything in these cells so far. Picked up meat. A slab of fresh meat. I beg to differ. There's no way that meat's fresh. Good, Ryan. Great, thanks. What are you up to? Ansel. Something died inside of him that day. Watching that man slip away was more than his mind was willing to handle. The name of the chancel. Heavy door. Orb scattered in the torture rooms. No, we didn't make it to the torture rooms yet. What is needed to enter? Programming assignment. That sounds familiar. How's that going? The assignment and the whole class.
That little bitch.
Bunch. Sure feels like the inner sanctum. I mean, if this isn't the inner sanctum, then what is?
Just a little further.
It's like Orpheus descending into the underworld.
Are you hiding something?
What do you mean?
Never mind. Your intuition is remarkable.
I'm not sure I'm following.
It doesn't matter. It's just a myth after all.
Whatever that, something's moving. It's maybe even coming our way. Yep, it is definitely coming. There's a door. This one had a, like, purple orb or something. That's right, if only you could just take those programming classes. The others, huh? Hey, Claire? Okay, maybe the inner sanctum's through there. And we need an orb to enter. Pedestal has a smooth hemispherical depression at the top. Maybe we need an orb placed in there to enter. Pedestal in the chancel has a depression in it that could fit an orb. There's a heavy door blocking the path. We need an orb which is shattered in the torture rooms. We need to get to the torture rooms. Perhaps the torture rooms are behind the heavy door. I'm gonna go this way. Try going both ways.
August 1839. Banishment ritual is taking longer than expected, and we have to do what is needed. I spend my time helping out the prisoners. Being around these degenerates makes me ill. None of them even tries to face their punishment with any kind of dignity. They taunt me with their lies of innocence and their cowardly pleas of mercy. What can make a man fall so far from the grace of a civilized existence? They are all wicked men, and I remind myself of it constantly. Still, I am thankful for God sending these monsters our way, as they will serve as the instruments of my salvation. I try to study the different tools in the torture chamber and learn how to use them effectively. Last time was messy, and the effect suffered from my inexperience. When the next warding is to be performed, I shall be ready.
Bucket of tar. Okay. I take it because it glows. But I got a bucket of tar now. Maybe we'll use the tar to help assemble the orb. It's gonna be like Bill and Ted fixing their time machine with bubble gum. Solid metal in good shape. This is of no use. Meat. We still have that glass jar. Glass jar. You know what? I think every time I pull the lantern out, it uses a disproportionate amount of fuel. You know, when you first pull it out, like starting a car is an inefficient task compared to running a car. Should be more careful about burning fuel that way. No, I think I kept it by accident. What happened, Darth, according to KG, when I stuck a couple boxes under the heavy door in the previous area, I kept it from coming down by putting boxes under it. Something about the crank was for that, which is why the crank didn't disappear, because I never used it where it was supposed to be used. I don't think you need to worry about the crank. I still don't quite understand how the crank was going to help with that door, but it was something about the door. A shattered orb. All is lost. I must once again start over. Ever since I recovered the orb first found by Agrippa, I have depended on it for my research. The incident with Willem made me impetuous. Fearing a paucity of prisoners, I proceeded with the final ritual without proper foresight. The orb cracked and fell into 6 parts. I have tried everything, but have yet to mend the thing. Tried tar? Was duct tape invented yet? Unless I can think of a way to piece it together, I will have to find another. There is still life in the pieces, and even if the orb isn't restored, I might be able to salvage some of its power for some other purpose. Centuries have passed in vain, and I begin to wonder if I will ever be able to see my love again. How much longer can I sustain my life? Object, use the item on. Meat on the altar? I don't know. Summon the beast! Heavy door. We picked up in here is meat and a bucket of tar. Go back towards the heavy door.
Is this the old time witnessing then? If so, blame yourself. You started this. You sent me that letter asking for help, and this is how you repay me? How dare you?
Huh. Not sure about that, Darth. Haven't ever followed him, so I really don't know, but it kind of sounds familiar. We should, we're overdue for a break. It's time for a break. But we're back in the nave, and I think I want to try to figure out how to open that door. I need some light therapy before I start yawning here. I'm sitting in the dark. It's very, very dark here. So we'll be taking a break in a minute. But we're back in the nave.
These cells
We're looking for
are
the
meant
torture room.
Prisoners who are under treatment. The people you send for will end up here. Remember that the confinement itself works as a preamble to the torture. and you should pace yourself. Don't take anyone before they are ready.
Understood.
Sounds from the torture chambers are shuttled in through those pipes in the ceiling. Manage your victims well, and let one prisoner's pain instill terror in his cellmate.
Okay, Agrippa might start talking to us again, but these heavy doors, as far as I can tell, we need to pass through there. Maybe that's the torture chamber. The parts of the orb.
I was my pupil. My pupil. Yes, I do take pride in that fact. Is it so wrong?
I think this is where we came in from. Yeah, we came down this way.
Ah, you again. I found a Mithraeus box. One which had not been plundered. Do you know Mithraeus? I suppose it doesn't matter. It is an old thing, building temples out of caverns. The dark walls being the universe, and inside are its followers. Humans watching the sky slowly tire. But the followers do have one thing to allow them a real sense of connection to creation. The orbs.
I can turn them off, right?
Not many orbs are left. They sometimes consume themselves, or break, when used by an uninitiated. I was lucky. The orb I found spared my life and returned to where I found it. I know because Alexander.
Should we, Agrippa, do you want us to sit down for 10 minutes? We could just sit down for 10 minutes. You're gonna keep talking? We'll just sit here. Go on. Go on! You're gonna start talking as soon as I walk away.
He's
talking it from that thing.
I did not. He unearthed a number of cavern temples and gathered a whole collection of orbs. But unlike every other finder since the fall of the Israel faith, he was able to unshackle the horror you and I connected with the orbs. He used them and was able to travel far and wide, beyond the world itself.
You know what, Agrippa? We're gonna turn you off.
Me, powerful. Not the way I hoped for.
Maybe?
I've done all that I can to escape this prison. But now, I use
turn 'em
all
off.
my strength merely to stay alive.
Then quit talking! With all your strength merely to stay alive, says the guy who hasn't shut up in 10 minutes.
Was there something else?
No, Agrippa, no!
Johann said he found a way to take me with him.
Ah! I wish we could turn him off. Everything just turned red. Then wasn't. Alright, we're gonna break shortly, maybe any moment now, because I need to get out of the dark for a few. But we're looking for a way to open that door, and we're looking for pieces of the orb in the torture chamber. These seem to be cells, not torture chamber. This seems like the torture chamber where Agrippa is, but I don't see pieces of the orb around.
Was there something
Broken.
else? I've
Just
always
boxes.
hoped fire would return and give me a second chance.
Spikes.
But so does Alexander. That's why he keeps me here, as a hostage, hoping fire will reveal himself. You're a good boy, Tyler, and I appreciate your compliment. But I believe you have more important things to take care of.
Yeah, we do, in fact. Like opening that door. Alright, where is he?
You should hurry, Daniel. No
Shut
time
up,
for sitting
Agrippa.
around.
I really don't like that guy. These doors open. Let's follow the pipes. They go into the wall. That didn't take long. Wonder how we open those. Something tells me we don't go into the chancel to open those doors. I'm wrong a lot, but I've missed levers that were right there. switches, levers. It could be right in front of us. I've already been in these. I don't remember seeing any switches or levers. In fact, didn't find much of anything. Maybe a couple tinder boxes in some of these cells. Just double checking, but I'm pretty sure there's nothing in those. There wouldn't be anything in the cell that opened the door anyway, so... Does control those doors. Of all the things Agrippa is running his mouth about, he's not saying anything about those doors.
Daddy, good to see you.
Oh,
You're a good boy, Daddy. And I appreciate your company. But I believe you have more important things to take care of.
Just
You should
wall him
hurry,
off.
Daddy. No time for sitting around.
Maybe controlled from somewhere back this way. This is where we entered the area. I'm also hesitant to go too far back to look for controls for those doors. Oh, wait! I think I do know. What about the two levers I didn't pull? Where were those? Upstairs. Where were those two levers I didn't pull? Were they up here? I don't remember if they were up here or maybe somewhere else down there. But I remember the two levers I didn't pull. Something's wrong with the machinery. Won't tell me that. It took a leap of memory just to get back here. Something is wrong with the machinery. Two levers on the top floor are not working. It's probably some problem with the machinery. Right.
Whatever it takes.
The won't budge door. Back down. What's wrong with the machinery? Keep stalling on the brake I should be taking. Alright, we'll go a little further and take 10. Machinery. There wasn't a lot of visible machinery up there. It was two levers and some pipes. This door. Last time we were here. New tar. Neat. Agrippa, don't even.
Daddy, good to see you. What lever? Oh, that one. So many of Alexander's things are breaking down.
Finally, he says
Look
something
around.
useful.
Maybe the other room. There are machine parts hidden all over this place. You'll find a way to fix it.
So maybe now I can pick up a piece that I couldn't pick up before. The other room. The other room. What other room? There's lots of other rooms. The other room. I want to check all the cells again. What do you think he meant? Machine parts. I really don't want to check all the cells again. And waste oil and stuff. Check the other room. I still don't think we need to go in the chancel to find machine parts for this other area. Doesn't seem right. We'll go back to the chancel when we have the orb or something.
Ah, you again.
Hi.
You're a good boy, Dad. And I appreciate your company. But I believe you have more important things to take care of.
If I give you some meat, will you shut up?
You should hurry, Daniel. No time for sitting around.
Machine parts. Check the other room. Other room. The other room. Where's the beef? How about I feel like chicken tonight? The machine parts are in another castle. Real machine parts. All right. Well, break time for me. We'll get back on it when I return. Bucket of tar. I think that'll have something to do with assembling the orb. That's my guess. Meat. I don't have a clue. We've used the jar twice. When will we use it next? Who knows? Wooden crank. Hammer and chipper. Our notes have stacked up. Orb to enter the inner sanctum. Shattered in pieces. In the torture room. Agrippa seems to be in the torture room, but I haven't seen any scattered pieces. So maybe if we lift those heavy doors, a heavy door is blocking the path. Maybe the torture room proper is beyond, and we'll find pieces of the orb in there. Back in the chancel, there's a pedestal with a depression that could fit an orb and an electrified hallway. I imagine we'll pass through it when we have the orb. Then there are these levers. I got all excited when I remembered those levers. I figured the levers would open the heavy doors. Levers up here, doors down here, but the lever's jammed and the doors haven't moved. Two levers on the top floor are not working. Probably some problem with the machinery. Fine. What machinery? There's lots of machinery all over this place, but none real nearby that I've seen, just pipes. So we'll go looking for machinery. A way to unjam those levers, get past those doors, and find out if that's the torture chamber, and try to find some orb pieces. That's the plan when I get back. Stay tuned. Go stretch your legs, smoke them if you got them. I'm gonna go check on the dogs and get some sun. There's not much sun today. I'll get some light. I'll see you back here.